Your colleague drops their coffee mug. It shatters on the floor. They laugh, but their eyes stay dead. This is burnout in its final stages, yet around the office, everyone pretends not to notice. Burnout isn't just feeling tired after a long week. It's the slow death of everything that once made work meaningful. You wake up exhausted despite sleeping 8 hours. The projects that once excited you now feel like impossible mountains. You check your emails with a sense of dread that wasn't there 6 months ago. These are warning signs your body and mind send before the full collapse. The word burnout gets thrown around casually. I'm so burned out from that Netflix marathon. But true burnout is clinical, a state of chronic stress leading to physical and emotional exhaustion, cynicism, detachment, and feelings of ineffectiveness. Herbert Freudenberger, the psychologist who coined the term in the 1970s, described it after observing idealistic staff members at a free clinic become emotionally depleted. Since then, we've normalized burnout as an expected part of professional life rather than recognizing it as the serious condition it is. The World Health Organization officially recognized burnout as an occupational phenomenon in 2019. Not a medical condition but a work-related syndrome. This classification matters because it puts responsibility partly on workplace environments, not just on individual resilience. The first truth about burnout is that high achievers are most susceptible. You're not burning out because you're weak. You're burning out because you care deeply and push yourself beyond reasonable limits. The qualities that make you excellent at your job, dedication, perfectionism, responsibility, are the same ones that make you vulnerable. Professor Christina Maslach, creator of the Maslach Burnout Inventory, found burnout stems from workplace mismatches in 6 areas: workload, control, reward, community, fairness, and values. The greater the mismatch between you and your work environment, the higher your burnout risk. Many articles about burnout focus on the symptoms: fatigue, insomnia, irritability, decreased productivity. These signals matter, but they miss the existential dimensions of the experience. Burnout isn't just about being tired. It's about losing your sense of meaning and purpose. When psychologist Viktor Frankl wrote about the search for meaning in Man's Search for Meaning, he wasn't addressing burnout specifically, but his insights apply perfectly. Frankl observed that people can endure tremendous suffering if they maintain a sense of purpose. Burnout strips away purpose, leaving only emptiness and obligation. You might be thinking, I just need a vacation. This is the second truth: vacations don't cure burnout. They offer temporary relief but don't address root causes. You return to the same environment that burned you out in the first place. Research from the University of Tel Aviv showed that vacation benefits fade within 3 days of returning to work if the underlying stressors remain unchanged. The burnout recovery industry sells us bath bombs, meditation apps, and weekend retreats. These self-care practices are valuable but can perpetuate the myth that burnout is your personal failure to manage stress properly. The real problem often lies in organizational culture, unrealistic expectations, and systemic issues. The third truth: burnout changes your brain. Neuroscientists at Karolinska Institute found that burnout alters neural circuits associated with emotional regulation. Your amygdala, the brain's emotion center, becomes hyperactive while the prefrontal cortex, your logical thinking area, shows reduced function. This explains why burnout makes you more reactive to stress and less able to make clear decisions. These brain changes can persist long after leaving the stressful environment. Your body keeps score, as trauma expert Bessel van der Kolk explains in his research. Chronic stress leaves biological imprints that require intentional healing. The harsh reality about burnout recovery is that it's not linear. You don't simply bounce back with a week of self-care. Full recovery often requires fundamental life changes. People who successfully recover from severe burnout frequently change jobs, careers, or drastically alter their relationship with work. Professor Barry Schwartz discusses the paradox of choice in modern work life. We have more options than ever but less satisfaction. The abundance of possibilities creates pressure to optimize every aspect of our careers, leading to decision fatigue and constant questioning of our choices. This perpetual state of evaluation fuels burnout. The pandemic revealed how burnout disproportionately affects certain groups. Women, especially those with caregiving responsibilities, experienced higher rates of burnout during COVID-19. Workers in healthcare, education, and service industries faced unprecedented stress levels. Remote workers discovered the double-edged sword of flexibility. The convenience of working from anywhere became the expectation of working all the time. Millennials report higher burnout rates than previous generations. This isn't because they lack resilience, as some commentators suggest. They entered the workforce during economic uncertainty, carry record student debt, face housing affordability crises, and work in an always-on digital culture that older generations didn't experience at their career start. The fourth truth: recovery requires boundaries, not just better time management. Making a detailed schedule won't save you if you can't say no to additional responsibilities. Setting boundaries feels uncomfortable at first. You worry about disappointing others or missing opportunities. But boundaries protect your most valuable resources, your energy and attention. Psychologist Adam Grant notes that burnout prevention isn't about reducing work hours but about increasing control over your work. When you have autonomy over how, when, and where you complete your responsibilities, work becomes less draining even at the same workload. The path through burnout isn't flashy or Instagram-worthy. It involves uncomfortable conversations with supervisors. It means potentially disappointing colleagues when you decline taking on more projects. It requires questioning cultural messages about hustle and productivity that you've internalized since childhood. Recovery begins with an honest assessment. Are you in a toxic work environment that no amount of self-care can counterbalance? Do you need professional help from a therapist or coach? Have you developed unhealthy coping mechanisms that compound the problem? These questions require courage to answer truthfully. The sociologist Emil Durkheim studied anomie, a state of normlessness where society provides inadequate guidance for individuals. Modern work culture creates a similar condition. We receive contradictory messages. Prioritize self-care but always be available. Find meaningful work but optimize for salary. Be authentic but market yourself strategically. The final truth about burnout: complete recovery often requires examining your relationship with your own worth. Many high achievers tie their identity to their productivity and professional success. Burnout forces a reckoning with this connection. You must learn that your value exists independent of your output. This realization doesn't come easily in a culture obsessed with optimization and achievement. Yet it might be the most important lesson burnout has to teach us. When your body and mind shut down from overextension, they're communicating something essential. You are not a machine. You need connection, meaning, rest, and purpose beyond productivity. Healing from burnout means reclaiming your humanity in a system designed to extract maximum value from your labor. This reclamation isn't selfish. It's necessary for sustainable contribution to any work that matters. The path through burnout isn't about becoming more resilient to toxic conditions. It's about creating conditions compatible with human flourishing, both for yourself and for others walking the same path.